Hello students and welcome to classroom teaching. Students, in last video we have seen about human eye, various parts of human eye and their functions. In this video we are going to discuss about some defects in human eye. Actually there are so many defects in human eye, but we restrict ourselves to the defects which are refractive defects of human eye. Refractive defects means the defects which are due to refraction. That means the refraction of light, it takes place through cornea or through eye lens, that we know. And if there is any defect in this refraction, then some refractive defects may occur in vision. So actually there are three main types of refractive defects that we are going to see in today's video. And these three defects are myopia, hypermetropia and presbyopia. Actually myopia, hypermetropia and presbyopia, these three defects, actually this can be asked, or this in exam point of view if we see, then a 5 marks question can be asked on this article in board exam. And we will discuss, we restrict ourselves to 3 points only. That means we are going to see 3 points only. First, what is that defect? That means we have to define that defect. Second, what are the possible reasons of that defect? And the third point that we are going to see, how that defect can be corrected. That means the remedy of that defect. So let us start. The first defect, that is myopia. That is the first defect that we are going to see. Myopia, or this defect is also called as nearsightedness. Nearsightedness. Near means the objects which are very close to us. Sight means the objects which are very close to us that can be seen very clearly. So the meaning of this is the person can able to see the objects which are close to us, which are near to us. That means the person can see nearby objects clearly but unable to see the distinct objects. So this is nothing but the definition of myopia. Very small word, myopia, small word is that, short word is that, and therefore it is also called as short-sightedness. The question may be asked into exam. They never ask you directly write down what is myopia and what are the reasons of myopia. No. The question can be asked in such a way. They ask, Santosh is a 10th standard student and he is unable to read what is written on the blackboard in the class. So from which defect he is suffering from? So you have to find out which defect is that. So he is unable to read written on the blackboard. That means he is unable to see distant object. That means his near sight is okay, and therefore it is nearsightedness or myopia. So you have to write the person or the Santosh, he is suffering from myopia. Then define that myopia: a person who is able to read or who is able to see nearby objects clearly but unable to see the distant object distinctly. So that is nothing but myopia. Then next definition, after that, possible reasons. So there are two main possible reasons for myopia. I will explain. The first reason, we will see it with the help of diagram. So the first possible reason is the curvature of the cornea and the lens. It increases. The curvature, it increases. It may be due to these muscles which are present here. These muscles cannot relax. These muscles cannot relax, and so that the converging power of the lens, it increases, and due to which the light rays or the object which is at far distance, from these lines we can understand the light rays which are coming from long distance, they are parallel to each other. That means in this diagram the object, it is at far distance, and whenever the light falls on the lens, due to the increase in curvature, the focal length of the lens or the converging power of the lens, it becomes high, and therefore the image is formed in front of retina. Instead of on retina, the image is formed in front of retina, and therefore the distant object cannot be seen clearly. Here the object is close to the eye, that is near object. The light rays which are coming from the near object, they are going in this way. So the light rays, whenever they fall on the lens, the image is formed on retina. That means the person can see the nearby object but unable to see the distinct object. Long distance object cannot be seen clearly because the image is formed in front of retina. The first reason, possible reason, is due to the increase in curvature of cornea and eye lens, the converging power of the lens becomes high, and therefore the image is formed in front of retina. So this is first possible reason. The second possible reason is if the shape of eyeball, instead of, we know the eyeball, it is circular in shape, but due to some reason, if the eyeball, it becomes elongated. What is the meaning of elongated? If the shape of the eyeball, instead of this shape, if it gets elongated in this way, so in that case also the image is formed in front of retina. If the object is near, the lens can adjust the focal length and the image is formed on retina, but for far object, the image is still, it is formed in front of retina due to the change in shape. Due to the change in shape of the eyeball. That means if eyeball gets elongated, we know the normal eye focus is near about 2 cm. Focus of eye lens is 2 cm. So the image is formed on 2 cm, exactly on retina. But if the eyeball, it elongates, then definitely the image is formed in front of retina, and therefore the distant object cannot be seen clearly. It appears blur, and this is also the possible reason. So this is second possible reason. So two possible reasons are there. And then what is the remedy for that? You can see in this diagram, the light rays, they are coming close to each other. the converging power of the lens is high due to the increasing curvature of the lens. So by using diverging lens, that means concave lens if we use, then before falling on eye lens, the light rays, they get diverged, they go away from one another, and after convergence the image is formed on retina exactly. Here the image of distant object can also be formed on retina by using lens, concave lens of appropriate power. Depending upon the converging power of the lens, depending upon the defect, the appropriate power, the concave lens of appropriate power can be used to cure this defect. So this is complete 5-mark package. Definition: what is myopia? The person can see nearby objects clearly but unable to see distant object distinctly or clearly, that is called as myopia. 2 possible reasons for myopia for 2 marks. If the increasing curvature of cornea and eye lens, the converging power of the lens remains high, and therefore the image is formed in front of retina. Image of distant object is formed in front of retina, and therefore the distant object cannot be seen clearly. Second possible reason, these everything are open, clear, or they are perfect only if due to some reason, if there is a change in eyeball, shape of eyeball, if the eyeball it is slightly elongated, in that case the distance between lens and the retina it increases, and therefore the image of distant object it is formed in front of retina instead of on retina, and therefore the object cannot be seen clearly. And how this defect is corrected? Definitely by using concave lens of appropriate power, we can cure this defect. So the person, he requires the spectacles of concave lens if he is unable to see distant object. And we know the power of concave lens is always negative. That means if the doctor gives -1, -1.5, that is the reading of our spectacle, then definitely we are suffering from myopia, and to cure that myopia, the appropriate concave lens of appropriate power is given. So this is about first defect, refractive defect myopia. So let us discuss about the second refractive defect, that is hypermetropia. So the second defect that we are going to see, it is hypermetropia or farsightedness. Look, the word is long word, and therefore the farsightedness. That means, what is the meaning of that? Farsightedness means the person can see the distinct object clearly but unable to see the nearby object. And the type of question which is asked for this is, suppose I will give one example. Payal is 10th standard student. She is unable to read the book. So from which defect she is suffering from? Now she is unable to read the book. That means she cannot see the nearby object. That means her far sight is well. That means she is suffering from hypermetropia or farsightedness. So what is meant by farsightedness? Farsightedness means the person can see distinct object clearly but unable to see nearby object. So if we try to explain it or to understand it with the help of diagram, then look in this diagram. The light rays, they are parallel to each other, that means the object is at far distance, and the image is formed on retina, that means the person can see distinct object. So this is nothing but the farsightedness, that means distinct object can be seen. This is defected eye. In this case, we can easily see the light rays, they are coming from this point, that means it is nearby object, and the person cannot see the nearby object clearly, that means the image is formed behind retina in this case. So why this happen? Again, two possible reasons. What are these two reasons? First reason, the curvature of the cornea and eye lens, it decreases, so that the converging power of the eye lens, it decreases, and therefore the image of nearby object, it is formed in front of behind retina. So the converging power of the lens becomes less. So that is the first possible reason, the converging power of the lens becomes less. Why it becomes less? Due to the decrease in curvature of cornea and eye lens. Second possible reason is that if the shape of the eyeball, it changes means due to the flattening of eyeball. Flattening of eyeball means the eyeball, instead of this circular shape, if the eyeball, it flattens. So due to the flattening of the eyeball, what happened? The distance between lens and the retina, it decreases, and due to that also the image of nearby object, it is formed behind retina, and due to that the person was unable to see nearby object. So how this defect is cured? How it is corrected? We know that the defect, it is due to the less converging power of lens. So if we converge the light rays before falling it on eye lens, how? By using converging lens. That means we can correct this defect, we can cure this defect by using a convex lens of appropriate power. So if we use the convex lens of appropriate power, so the light rays coming from nearby object, they fall on the converging lens, they get converge first, and again after falling on eye lens, they converge again. That means we are increasing the converging power of the lens, and due to that the image can be formed on retina, and therefore we can see the nearby object also. So this is nothing but the cure for hypermetropia. These are the three diagrams for that. So this is also a 5 marks package. So what is hypermetropia? The person can see the distinct object clearly but unable to see nearby object. Two possible reasons. First, due to the change in curvature, due to the curvature of the cornea and eye lens, if it is decreases, then the converging power of the lens also decreases, and therefore person cannot see nearby object, the image is formed behind retina. Second possible reason, due to the flattening of eyeball, the distance between lens and retina, it reduces, and therefore the image is formed behind retina, and therefore the person was unable to see nearby object. What is the cure for that? By using convex lens of appropriate power, we can easily cure this defect. So This is second. Now the third defect, that is presbyopia. We will discuss about it. So what is presbyopia? Presbyopia, it is third defect, refractive defect. It is nothing but hypermetropia. But it is also called as old age hypermetropia. That means due to age, as the age increases, what happens? The ciliary muscles, they becomes weak, and due to that, the focusing power of the lens, it also decreases. That means the near point of the object of a person, it goes away from us. We know the near point of any normal eye, for any person, for normal eye, it is 25 centimeter. But due to age, the focusing power decreases, and due to that, the near point, it goes away from us. And due to that, the nearby objects cannot be seen clearly. The person can see distinct object but unable to see nearby object, and that is nothing but hypermetropia. And therefore I say presbyopia, it is nothing but hypermetropia, but this defect, it is due to old age, and therefore it is also called as old age hypermetropia. And the cure of this defect, what should be the cure of the defect? I kept these diagrams as it is for hypermetropia, because if presbyopia is asked into exam, then you have to draw these diagrams only, because it is nothing but hypermetropia. What is the difference? Hypermetropia, it is due to some refractive defect, but presbyopia, it is just due to the weakening of ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles, these are the muscles which are present here, and these muscles can change the shape of the lens, and due to the weakening of these muscles due to age, the person cannot see nearby object, and therefore it is called as presbyopia. So how it can be cured? Same answer, by using convex lens of appropriate power, presbyopia can be cured easily. So how the question can be asked into exam regarding to this? Again, let us see one example. Suppose Girish is a 10th standard student, and his grandfather was unable, or his grandfather is unable to read newspaper. You might have seen the old age persons, they read books in such a way, by keeping it away, because their near point is not exactly at 25 centimeter, but it goes away from him due to age factor. So if such question is asked, in this case his grandfather is unable to read the newspaper, that means definitely he is suffering from hypermetropia, but as the age factor is there, it is called as presbyopia. So this defect can also be cured by using convex lens of appropriate power. But suppose in this age now I am suffering from myopia, and after few years due to age problem I will be suffering from presbyopia. So in that case, if the person is suffering from myopia as well as presbyopia or hypermetropia, then bifocal lenses are used in that case. Bifocal lenses means the upper part, it is nothing but concave lens to cure myopia, and the lower part, it is nothing but convex lens to cure hypermetropia or presbyopia. So In this video, we discuss about three different defects, refractive defects in human eye: myopia or nearsightedness, hypermetropia or farsightedness, and third is presbyopia, which is also we can call it as old age hypermetropia. So for this video we will stop here. In next video we will see uses of lenses. So for that we will stop here. Thank you very much.